I know I look a little messy, but I had to share something. That how we have all started thinking that healing means doing processes. Like when I started my journey, I started healing. Of course, there was this one narrative that I want to find who I am without the titles of being someone's daughter or being someone's wife or who society taught me who Garima is. I wanted to find who I actually am, what I like, and who I want to be. That was my actual inspiration to start my healing journey. But more than that, because I was already on my manifestation journey, I also started healing so I can manifest what I want. I want to heal so I can manifest. And then the more continued my healing journey, I thought that I'll join this course on inner child healing. I'll heal my mother wounds, father wounds, and maybe that's healing. Then the more I learned, the more I understood about how our nervous system works. Our body holds emotions, and we need somatic workouts and breath work and everything. And I've done almost everything, but even after all this, now that it's been so many years, and now that I've actually healed my nervous system, I've come out of survival mode. I'm not living in that anxious and panic state every day. My mental health is much better, my emotional health is much better. It was never because of all the modalities I've been a part of. What actually healing was all this time was how every time I did a process, how every time a memory showed up, how I processed it. Like, yes, inner child healing or memory regression, where you will go into a memory, or if you're doing father wound or mother wound healing, and you'll go into memory, you'll find the root of the memory. And every time you go to a past memory, the old emotions, because they haven't been processed, because if they would have been processed, it wouldn't have become trauma. It would have been just a normal experience of your life. But because we are not taught how to process emotions, we kind of don't know how to express emotions. So if you don't express or process your emotions, they get stuck in your body and eventually they form trauma. That's a very simple explanation of trauma, that your stuck stored emotions form trauma. It's deeper than that, but that's just surface level. So every time you do a process, a past life regression, family constellation, inner child memory regression, old memories will surface up. And healing isn't doing these processes. Healing is how you learn to sit with all these emotions that surfaced up back again because of the process. How you process it, how you sit with those emotions, how you deal with all the pain that you couldn't feel fully is now on surface, and now you're ready to feel it fully. Now you're capable enough to feel it fully. Now your nervous system is safe enough and has a space to feel it fully. Emotional processing is what leads to healing your patterns, healing your nervous system, healing your thoughts, healing your memories. So healing isn't processing. Healing isn't joining a course or joining or starting to see a therapist for 1 year or 2 year, or working with a healer or a coach for 1 or 2 years. That's not healing. Healing is how much you have actually emotionally processed each and every time the emotion surfaced up. Not once, not twice, not only when you are doing the process with your coach or with your facilitator. Because that's the thing about memories. They keep coming up even when you're out of the sessions. How much you emotionally process it every time it shows up will eventually lead to healing of those memories. And if you haven't done these part, and if you have only done all the processes, like I've done past life regressions, and I've done family constellations, and I've joined inner child courses, and I know all the memories, why I have receiving block, why I have this blue, why I'm so hyper independent, why I'm so hyper vigilant. Yes, this means you're super aware. All the processes you did, it made you super aware. But healing is actually emotional processing. So if you haven't done the emotional processing part yet, I'm sorry to inform you, but that's not healing. Healing happens of your thoughts and emotions. Through healing, your thought patterns change automatically because you have processed the old emotions that were running those old thoughts. Healing is emotional processing, period.